Hey there, welcome back Miindtraa family. We're so excited for this video.
Today we're exploring two fascinating and common attachment styles, avoidant and anxious.
These attachment styles were identified in this theory called attachment theory, which was developed in the 1950s by a British psychologist called John Bowlby. And it actually helps us to understand how emotional bonds are formed between two different people.
We'll break down these attachment styles and what they mean, and they can affect your relationships.
And we'll even share some tips on how you can navigate these dynamics. So let's dive in. Let's first understand the anxious attachment style. So anxious typically we associate with the word worry, and this is typically what we would see in their attachment. People with anxious attachment typically need a reassurance repeatedly. They can't wait for too long, or they feel that something's going to go wrong very, very quickly. It usually happens that these people want a lot of closeness. They keep wanting the partner to be there for them, reply to them immediately. And they need that constant feeling that yes, there is, I'm there for you, I'm there for you. That constant cycle of reassurance comes primarily from this inconsistency when they were experiencing their childhood and the caregiver was not constantly available, especially in times when the child needed it. Now this cycle keeps repeating in any of the relationships where they keep giving a lot of love, they keep giving a lot of things, and when they don't receive something, they feel rejected. They feel that they're going to be, abandoned at any stage of time. Imagine this. You send them a text and you're waiting for a reply. You send a second text, a third text, and you're waiting for the reply to come, but it's not coming. And suddenly those little minutes, they start feeling like hours. Well, that's very typical, a style of an anxious attached individual. They send multiple texts and they expect immediate responses, and when that response does not come, there's a lot of feeling of worry, of anxiety that sets in. For someone with an anxious attachment style, the fear of abandonment is very real. If the partner is late, is unavailable, or has not responded in the way they are expecting, they tend to assume the worst. Because of this need for reassurance, they are very clingy and they want to have the solution of any problem resolved instantly. Now, this often puts a strain on the relationships, but this has come from the pattern that they were experiencing, like we said earlier, in the childhood. If their parents were inconsistent or they were not available, or if the caretaker in any case was not available, the likelihood that the child or the individual would have developed an anxious attachment style is much higher. You always do this. You go away whenever I'm trying to talk to you. When are you going to come back?
Sometime.
How much time? What will I do at that time?
1 hour.
But I want you to be back to 1. Okay.
Now let's shift gears to avoidant attachment. People with this style value independence and often keep emotional distance from their partners. This style typically develops from caregivers who are emotionally unavailable or dismissive. Avoidant attachers might struggle with intimacy and prefer to maintain a sense of autonomy. Avoidant individuals might shut down, avoiding deep conversations. This withdrawal can leave their partners feeling unsupported and disconnected. They often find it difficult to be vulnerable, which can make building emotional intimacy challenging. Avoidant individuals might come across as aloof or disinterested, but it's often a protective mechanism developed to avoid the pain of emotional closeness. Research shows that avoidant attachment often arises from experiences where caregivers were not responsive to emotional needs, leading to coping mechanism of emotional self-reliance.
The funny part is quite often the anxious attachment style and the avoidant attachment style, they come together in a relationship and a dance starts. It's a roller coaster of emotions that starts as a cycle. Imagine this, an anxious partner wants closeness while the avoidant partner wants space. Now imagine when both of these land up in a conflict, there are two people wanting two very different things that come together. So how do we resolve this? Here are some tips that can actually help you. Number 1, the tip for any healthy relationship: communication. Communication is key to understand what the other person is feeling and, more importantly, discuss about the needs, the fears and the attachment styles in order to cultivate empathy and patience. We really need to create a safe space where both the partners can come together to share what they are feeling, or even if they require that space.
Find a balance between togetherness and independence. Anxious partners need closeness, while avoidant attachment needs space. Respect each other's boundaries. Avoidant attachment should communicate better with the anxious attachment. Like, they will get back to you in a particular time, in a certain time.
Remember, it's all about finding the right rhythm for both the partners in order to make any relationship work. I hope you really enjoyed this video and you learned something useful and you're able to apply it in your day-to-day life. Remember to like, share, subscribe to Miindtraa for more such insights into emotional and relationship well-being. We are excited to share all this information with you. Thank you for being here and see you next time.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Miindtraa for more insights into emotional and relationship well-being. See you next time.
Bye-bye.